Today, you got to try this is with Heart and Soul Tours in the Okanagan. Sherry Cote shows us how she shows the best of the Okanagan to her clients.
Hi, I'm at Urban Distilleries with Sherry Cote, the owner of Heart and Soul Tours, where almost every day of the week you get the opportunity to go on one of her beautiful luxurious buses to see most of the amazing things to do here in the Okanagan.
How Heart and Soul came into play was we were bantering with guests, we're getting a coach, this is what she's going to look like, and what are we going to call the company? And they said, Sherry, everything you do is with your heart and with your soul. How could you think of naming it anything else but Heart and Soul Tours?
So it was perfect.
So that's how the name was born.
Now tell me a little bit, what are some of your actual, when it comes to putting your tours together, what type of things influence you to put these packages together?
Well, I have my list of favorite places to go.
Okay.
And we exceed our customers' expectations at the villa, and that's what I needed to follow through in the tour company. So I toured around and I met with the venues that are now I met with a lot of people, but the venues that are now on our list of places that we take them really understand the concept of customer service.
So you know what? How about we're going to continue on this tour. We've got a couple other places that we're going to go with Sherry and her group, and we're going to come back and we're going to check at some of the other places, stop in, and we'll get to know Sherry a little bit more as we go along.
As we left Urban Distilleries, it was very clear that this was a company that had been founded with solid corporate social responsibility principles. The group had a fantastic time, and next stop was going to be just as exciting. Tree Brewing in Kelowna is an award-winning local brewery that specializes in handcrafted local beers. Today, the group was going to be treated by Heart and Soul Tours to a flight of beers, some of Tree Brewing's best samples.
This little beauty right here, this is $49.95, 2 liters of beer, and your first fill is free. Then it's $9.95 from there on in. That's a lot of beer.
Today, however, the tour was a little bit different. We had a surprise for Sherry, who'd been fundraising for the Kelowna Women's Shelter.
We donated 20% of the proceeds to the Kelowna Women's Shelter. And this is Drea. Sherry. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
you. Way to go, Sherry.
And I have for you, with my pleasure, check for all the proceeds. You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Drea, you look beautiful too.
The party wasn't over yet, however, and we boarded one of Kelowna's luxury houseboats for a tour of the lake. And the Heart and Soul Tours just keep getting better and better.
I'm out on Okanagan Lake with Sherry, who's one of the most amazing tour guides that I've ever met. Sherry, I just listened to your presentation inside, and you know what? You really are the heart and soul of your company here.
Well, thank you, Angel. I believe, and I've always preached, if you have your heart and soul into what you do, it's easy. It is so simple to exceed your customers' expectations when you love what you're doing. And I mean, come on. I get to tour guide people in the Hawaii of Canada. People say it's the Sonoma of the North, it's the Napa of the North. Yes, it's all of that. It is absolute paradise. I, myself, came here from the Lower Mainland 18 years ago, spent the weekend, never went back.
Well, what brought you to the Okanagan? Because, our show really is a lot about the Okanagan. What brought you here? Especially because we're floating on one of the prettiest lakes in Canada.
Literally came to the Okanagan just for a weekend getaway and to get away from just the hustle and bustle of the city. I was sitting in a hot tub, sipping on brandy, very high up the hill, looking at this gorgeous lake sparkling under the moonlight, thinking to myself, Self, the reason you're going back to the coast is, and I don't know if it was the brandy, that couldn't keep up. The mind couldn't come up with an answer. Like, why are we going back?
So you're a little Angel on this side, a little drunk Brandy on this side.
That's right. So I literally, I called the coast and I shut everything down there just that quickly. My son started Our Lady of Lourdes on Tuesday because it was the September long weekend. Never went back. Great friends there still, love to go visit, but I love when they come up here and I can show them around this beautiful, beautiful area.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
We have, what, a 40-mile long lake. It's, what do you call it, a Disneyland. It's a playground for adults and for children.
It's everything. You know what? I beg to differ with anybody that says that they cannot find something to do in the Okanagan on any given day, because there are so many beautiful things to do here. It's paradise. It really, truly is paradise.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we've got winters, you know, for skiing and snowboarders. We've got...
Where can you go golfing and skiing in the same day?
Absolutely, you can. And there's so many more things to do and see in the Okanagan than wineries. Our tours, we certainly highlight a winery every day. Plus the guests can have some Okanagan wine at lunchtime, and then we're usually going to sneak off and get some urban distillery spirit tasting or tree brewing tasting. There's all kinds of fun, but there's so many other things to do and see along the way.
So what would you say to somebody when it comes to the Okanagan?
You got to try this.
Our eyes and
I'm here with Allie Henderson and Bruce Cook. Now, before I start this interview, I have to say these people are crazy. Honestly. I can't even. Okay, so they freestyle motocross. We're up in the back of Sexsmith. And this is your parents' property, Bruce?
Yeah, I've got 60 acres up here, and this has kind of been my playground since I was walking. Basically, I've been on a dirt bike about 4 or 5 years old, and kind of started with this exact same spot. But what you see behind us here was little bumps, you know, that you'd just kind of ride over, and then it progressed, and bikes got bigger, and jumps got bigger, and now most of this dirt's brought in, and I got over 300 dump truck loads of dirt brought in, and built ramps and jumps get bigger, and then yeah, it's just constant progression.
Unreal. So Allie, you want to tell us a little bit about you and what makes this sport so compelling to you?
Well, I have only been doing this for a year. Actually, just kind of only been really riding dirt bikes for just over a year now. So all of it's so new and exciting, and everything is just so fun. It's so cool to kind of see what he's doing and see the level of riders that are around, and kind of aim to be at that level. But I just started one day for fun, and then it was a lot of fun, and we kept pulling the ramp back, and it just kind of kept progressing, and before you know it, I was jumping bigger jumps, and I went down south this winter to continue training. And
yeah, you went to Georgia.
I was between Georgia and Florida.
So Allie just got back from Georgia, so why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience down there?
So when the snow fell this winter in December, I was just not ready to quit riding. I was really addicted to it, and I wanted to progress really fast, and I knew that I had to go south. So when I kind of headed down south, I didn't really know where I was going.
Mosquito.
But yeah, I ended up down in this place called Durhamtown, and Durhamtown's kind of like the big white, but for dirt bikes. It has like a lodge, a restaurant, accommodations, tracks, freestyle park, trails. So it just was like everything I needed: a place to live, a place to train. Ended up down there, got to my goal, which was 75 feet.
Okay, hold on, 75 feet, would that be?
That ramp set up right there.
Okay, so you jumped up that.
Not that one particularly, but I jumped that distance.
Now, do you have sponsors? Because I know this sport relies heavily on sponsors, each individual person. Do you have a sponsor?
Right now I'm working with Venom Power Sports here in Kelowna. They're just on low heat, and they're so good to me. They help me with all of my servicing parts, all that. They really hook me up, as well as RMR suspension. You can see my forks have Fox on them, so RMR and Abbotsford, they do my suspension for me and put Fox shocks on, and like this suspension saves me. Like if I ever jump something like that, it takes the hit before I do. So the suspension is super important. I'm very grateful that they've got my back.
Oh, I bet. Now, talking about your suspension saving you, what kind of injuries have you both had?
You go first, your list is longer.
Pretty much you name it. Yeah, this year's been a little nasty. This past year I did pelvis and a couple ribs and my foot and ankle, and yeah, I've done, I think I broke 6 ankles, 6 wrists, and yeah.
You're like the operation game.
Yeah. they know me by name in emergency now, so.
Do they? Here he comes again.
Yeah.
Clear out his little spot.
Put it on the tab.
What about you, Allie?
I had my first concussion ever. I did that up here. I did a concussion, separated my shoulder, and then I broke my hand in the fall.
And you still continue to come out here and have fun. You're on Extreme, is that right? Tell us a little bit about that competition. Or
yeah, well actually we're putting on freestyle competition in Kelowna at Prospera Place on June 8th, and that's the first one that's been in Kelowna. Really, there's been a couple demos, but this is the first. Yeah, it's eight riders and 2 ramps, and we got BMX and mountain bike and street bikes and everything. So that's yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool.
But do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself personally, Allie? Because I know we've been talking about you, but I mean, there's some. We had a conversation the last time I spoke to you. There's some really neat things that you want to progress into as well.
Yeah.
For being a woman in this type of sport.
I think mostly, like, I actually really just love the opportunity to kind of be inspiring. Like, it's cool when you get a message and someone's like, I really look up to you, or you make me think that anything's possible, and that's something I've always really stood for. I really believe that, like, anything's possible. Dreams are real. I believe in going for your dreams, and it's something I've struggled with, and I used to want to ride horses in the Olympics, and it didn't work out, and I don't know, like, if I can just walk my talk and say that, you know, dreams are real and help people accomplish that or see that, then it's worth every crash. It really is. So I'm pretty grateful that I've come across this and be able to walk my talk this way, because it's very showy, so it's a good way to grab attention.
I guess it is. Now, our show is a lot about the Okanagan, and you know it's called You Gotta Try This. What would you guys say about the Okanagan that keeps you here?
We don't really actually stay here that much.
I know, but you know, what do you love about the Okanagan? Like, yeah, Bruce, exactly.
I've been to, well, every major city in Canada and a lot of the small ones, and actually I've been to the majority of the states, like probably 90% of the states, and there's definitely some cool stuff out there, but like every time you kind of, you know, you hit Merritt and you're kind of coming back and you kind of come over the connector into Kelowna, it's like, wow, this is why I live here. Like, as far as me, like, well, other than the snow, but you know, it's nice to have 4 seasons. We got 4 solid seasons. We got the mountain, we got the lakes. Like, it's the right size town for me. It's just like, yeah, I stay busy. Yeah, I stay busy doing. You can do anything here, and I'm always excited to come back to Kelowna and just explore. There's always something. Like, been exploring for 25 years so far, and I keep finding new stuff every day, like around the Okanagan. So that's what's cool.
Perfect. Now, if anybody was to find you, where would we find you on? Do you guys? I know that you have a social media. You're on Facebook. Are you on Facebook too, Bruce?
I am. Yep.
Yeah, and so you want to tell us whereabouts they find you? If you have websites, Facebook.
I'm at www.allie-henderson.com.
And yeah, I'm on Facebook, just facebook.com/BCFMX, and then globalfmx.com.
There we go. You got it from the 2 extreme sport people in Kelowna. And we thank you guys very much. Now,
you gotta try this.
At the end of the tour, we get the opportunity to come to Sherry Cote's beautiful Vista Villa. It is amazing up here. Just in Kelowna here, right off of Summit Drive, we're on Ryder Road. Sherry is the very first person in the world to own a B&B. The B&B stands for Bed and Barbecue, and she is very delighted that she is the one and only. I can't even tell you what an oasis is. I cannot wait to go inside and see all of the rooms. that one day maybe you may want to come to the Okanagan and stay in, as well as the view of our beautiful Okanagan, Kelowna city. We're in one of the 4 suites here at the Vista Villa with owner Sherry Cote. Is very proud of her little place here. This is the place that you want to come if you're coming to elope, you're coming on a honeymoon, or you want that special getaway with somebody. So special that you're going to do one of these ones.
Oh, am I going to get in trouble?
And this is my absolute favorite suite.
Oh.
It is not the largest suite, but look at the view.
Oh no!
Panoramic, lake, city, and look at the steam coming off of the pool.
You know what?
Like that's got to be like 100 degrees. Well, hopefully not. But yeah, we keep it very, very warm because, as I say, I'm too old to be cold, and my guests just are the lucky recipients of that concept.
Well, you know, Sherry, people come here, on their honeymoons, and I don't see why they would want to stay inside when you got all that outside too.
I know. Well, they think they want to come for a week,
yeah.
And then I catch them in the pool, and they're like, "Okay, you do have monthly rates, right?"
Yeah. It's beautiful. I mean, you really put all your thought into every little detail that went into this beautiful home. Beautiful.
And this fireplace, it's a 2-sided gas fireplace. So whether our guests are enjoying the bubble bath or in the bedroom, doesn't matter. They get to enjoy the fire from both sides.
You even have slippers in little bags.
Slippers, robes, candles galore.
Look at this.
White goose down duvets. All my beds are custom made. Bamboo sheets.
A little berry white beside the
A
bed.
little berry white. A little berry white.
Everybody needs a little berry white.
And it's amazing how many people don't know who Barry White is.
Are you kidding
Till
me?
they've stayed here, and then it's all about the Barry White after that.
There's nothing more romantic than a little berry white.
The gold rimmed
Oh, they're gorgeous.
glasses. I think if you're on a vacation, you've nothing better to do than look around. So I better make sure that what they're looking around at is very nice.
No, every detail, Sherry. You know what? I know that you call your tour company heart and soul. But this, you know what? You can tell how passionate you really truly are about, one, the details, two, about making sure that everybody is comfortable, because it's very welcoming. Very welcoming.
Oh,
so why don't you tell us just a little bit about Villa Vista and how it came
about?
How it came about for you.
Well, there's the $1 million question. I'd never been in the accommodations business before, but I was driving up the hill one day and there said open house by owner. I thought, wow, what's up there? I'd never even been in this subdivision, Golfview Estates, and as I wound up the hill, oh my goodness, all the vegetation is totally grown and the lots seemed bigger, and it was so, every home looked very beautiful. I thought, wow, this is like a real little pocket here, an oasis pocket.
I saw an oasis earlier.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So I came in the front doors and the double doors opened, and from the front office you could see right through to the view and the lake.
Oh, no way.
And I thought, oh my goodness. And we're literally 10 minutes from the airport, 7 minutes to town, 5 minutes, over to the mall. Like, it's so central. And it had been boarded up for 2 years, this property. It was completely overrun. Nothing was, everything was dated. Even
Unreal.
flocked wallpaper, the shag carpeting, the gold-veined mirrors. Like,
so you're a visionary.
It had it all.
Yeah.
And but it had the bones.
Yeah.
So I literally went to the city hall and I got the plan and I said, which are the bearing walls?
Yeah.
So they drew in black felt pen the bearing walls that I couldn't touch, and everything else gone. And I built it suite by suite by suite, and it took about 4 years to get it completed to what you see today. And everywhere there's a suite, I put a second wall for total privacy.
Privacy, yes.
All the suites have their own entrances, and at no time do guests feel like they're infringing on my privacy. They don't get to see the residential area. They have their own beautiful common spaces on the lower level, and they're completely comfortable. Mm-hmm. And we make the big fuss about dinner. So the breakfast, they find in their little fridges in the morning, nicely stocked.
Continental breakfast.
And I encourage, take the breakfast, get back into the bubble bath, feed each other yogurt and muffins. That's the way we do it here at the villa. And then at 6:30, join us in the dining room. We do a beautiful 4-course dinner. Everything organic, locally inspired. As I said, we keep the pool at 92 degrees. We have a private media room. They can enjoy a movie with massaging chairs. I have a professional grade far infrared sauna. So this is really couples connecting, regrouping, recharging, rejuvenating.
Very important.
Just from hectic everyday life. So they get to come here and just veg.
Wow. Well, you know, I'm standing here in this beautiful luxury suite of yours, and I can smell food.
Oh,
It
yeah.
smells delightful. Can you tell us a little bit about what's being cooked out there?
Well, we have hormone-free chicken breast stuffed with ricotta cheese and basil. We have the Villa special potato salad that's chock full of celery and broccoli. I have a spinach stuffed cannelloni that is gluten-free. I have pork and beef cabbage rolls in an amazing
Do you make all this just
tomato
tomorrow?
sauce. And lots of it gets frozen and then brought out.
Wow.
And a few other dishes there as well. And then we're having the velvet cake.
I seen those on the table and
Yes,
I
with a
walked by.
variety of cheesecakes for dessert.
See, I just wanted to go.
Yeah, well, you can do that as long as you don't get caught.
Well.
What the hostess doesn't know can't hurt you.
That's right. At the very end of every rainbow, there's a beautiful pot of gold, and the Vista Villa is definitely the pot of gold.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I think that.
Now, how can people get a hold of you?
They can, well, they Google me on the internet, avistavilla.com, avistavilla@shaw.ca, and toll free if you're coming from out of town is 1-877-762-7831. And if you're locals, for your anniversary, birthday, if you've been a bad boy and you owe her big time, 250-762-7837.
And I'm pretty sure she'll take care of that I'm sorry bouquet of flowers for you as well.
Absolutely.
She'll have it in the room for you. Thank you so much. It was
You're welcome.
wonderful.
It's an
We enjoyed
absolute
it.
pleasure.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had fun.
Oh, you got to try this.
Cheers! You got